federal government has secured an extra 200 million litres of diesel and 250,000 tonnes of fertiliser from regional partners as the global fuel crisis continues. National Cabinet will convene tomorrow to discuss Australia's fuel security. That's the third meeting since the war in the Middle East began. Now let's bring in political reporter Sarah Temevska at our Canberra bureau. Sarah, when does this fuel arrive?
Gemma, hello. Well, these additional 4 shipments carrying 200 million litres of diesel are expected to get to Australian ports by the end of May or first week of June, and they'll be distributed to Brisbane, Geelong, Sydney and Perth. These shipments come on top of 2 additional shipments procured from Brunei and South Korea last week, carrying 100 million litres of additional diesel. So in total, 300 million litres of diesel that's been secured through the Export Finance Australia program, essentially where the federal government has said to major fuel wholesalers, we will underwrite you to purchase diesel on the global spot market. If the war ends tomorrow and suddenly fuel prices plummet, the taxpayer will subsidise these companies for any losses they incur, essentially so that Australia can secure supply. We also heard there will be an extra 250,000 tonnes of fertiliser-grade urea coming in from Indonesia after the Prime Minister had a phone call with Indonesian President Prabowo Subianto last night. According to the Agriculture Minister, Julie Collins, that will see 20% of the shortfall currently being experienced in Australia covered as farmers head into planting season. So a critical time of year for the Australian agriculture industry. And as we know, the continual blockade of the Strait of Hormuz affecting not only the supply of fuel to Australia, but also fertiliser, which in turn impacts Australia's food security.
Sarah, the PM was also asked about any potential changes in next month's budget to the way gas exports are taxed. What did he have to say about that?
Yeah, Gemma, there's been growing momentum or calls for the government to introduce a 25% flat rate tax on gas exports, that these major gas giants produce gas in Australia, they sell it overseas for a eye-watering profit. This call is being spearheaded by Independent Senator David Pocock and the federal Greens as well, arguing that such a move could raise an additional $17 billion in revenue for the federal budget. Now, there are differing views within the Labor caucus about the best way to proceed with this tax. We know Treasury has modelled options to both introduce some sort of super profits tax on gas exports or to tinker again with the PRRT, the Petroleum Resources Rent Tax, but no final decisions have been made. There's also been an intervention from WA Premier Roger Cook, who said that would not be a good idea. The Prime Minister asked about the WA Premier's intervention during a press conference this morning.
Well, I speak to Roger Cook all the time, and I'll speak to every Premier tomorrow. Our concentration is on supply. That's what we're focused on, of fuel security here in Australia. But our budget will be handed down on May the 12th, and everyone will see everything that's in the budget there.
Now, Opposition Leader Angus Taylor has said the introduction of this kind of tax would be the death of the industry, while Nationals leader Matt Canavan has left the door open for some kind of additional tax on gas exports. The Prime Minister, though, when he was in Malaysia last week securing additional fuel supply, appeared to make a commitment that any prospective tax wouldn't apply at least to existing projects, and we know that partners in Asia have raised concerns about rumours that this kind of tax is coming down the pipeline in the May budget, concerned that would impact investment. And these are countries that are reliant on Australian LNG exports.